One thing is very clear at Tesla right now: AI is going to play a huge part in their future. The most obvious AI work comes in the form of self-driving, but beyond that, there are a ton of other features that Tesla could bring to their cars that may change the way people drive. Today, we're getting into all the things we expect from Tesla and what we want to see in this regard. So let's get into it, and a special thanks to Babbel for sponsoring a portion of this video. As I mentioned, self-driving is the most obvious AI venture Tesla is working on, so let's detail that first before we get into the less obvious ones. They've been working on their full self-driving suite for years now. For years as well, they've had the vision of bringing a fully functional robotaxi to market that does not require a steering wheel or pedals to even be installed into the vehicle. The main thing with AI, though, is while progress is pretty much growing exponentially across the board, it requires enormous amounts of data collection. The AI needs to learn to do what it does so that it can perform tasks as good as or better than a human. It needs to be able to think. Recently, we've seen a lot of progress in this regard from Tesla. The huge advantage they have in this space is data collection. They have been shipping cars with their full autopilot sensor suite and FSD computer for over 7 years at this point. All the while, those cars have been collecting data on how the system functions in the real world, and in particular, when users disengage it. What went wrong to cause a disengagement? Corner cases are a big thing with AI because they are the things that could potentially trip it up. Maybe you come to a specific fork in the road that is unlike anything you've ever seen. As a human, you will figure out how to safely proceed, and a computer needs to be trained well enough in all sorts of scenarios to do the same. Tesla has been talking about achieving FSD for years now, but the reason we're hearing more about their FSD efforts lately is because of version 12 of the software. They finally brought out an entire AI end-to-end FSD software to all customers who have this package, and it quickly proved itself really effective for most people. It's still definitely not perfect, but it is very impressive in learning quickly. At the same time, thanks to more customer interest in the better version, and the fact that Tesla gave all Tesla owners a free 1-month trial of this package, data collection or miles driven on FSD has been rapidly increasing. They also dropped the price significantly to hopefully drive up more data collection. This chart demonstrates it clearly. Tesla had already collected around 1 billion miles of FSD data, and now the red shows how that number is increasing with the latest version. At the time this was published, it was estimated that Tesla was collecting around 14.7 million miles on FSD every single day. If Tesla keeps these rates up, they will be collecting 1 billion miles every 68 days. It took them 3.5 years to collect the first billion. So data collection is growing exponentially there, which is huge for the progress, improvement, and learning of their FSD AI. Right now, Tesla seems to think that this will enable them to ship a dedicated, purpose-built robotaxi fairly soon. They plan to unveil it on August 8th, and it seems that many plans and employment focuses at Tesla have shifted to this effort, along with general AI. Huge data collection like this ultimately could lead to Tesla solving much more than real-world driving. It could help them solve many types of AI in the real world. When looking at Tesla, many see a car manufacturer, but Tesla's AI page is clear that there is a lot going on. Their AI and robotics page says, quote, "We develop and deploy autonomy at scale in vehicles, robots, and more. We believe that an approach based on advanced AI for vision and planning, supported by efficient use of interface hardware, is the only way to achieve a general solution for full self-driving, bipedal robotics, and beyond." They specifically outline 8 products from there: their Tesla Bot, FSD chip, Dojo chip, Dojo system, neural networks, autonomy algorithms, code foundations, and evaluation infrastructure. In the real world, we see them deploying these things in FSD training, in their cars, in products like AutoBidder, which uses AI for real-time energy trading, and the Tesla Bot. That thing does exist, but it's still very much in the prototype stages at Tesla. Many of these products will be something we see in the future, but a big part of AI is that it can come simply with a software update. This is something that Tesla is very well known for. They were the first automaker to make over-the-air updates standard, bringing out new features and fixing things in your car throughout ownership. Tesla owners experience this all the time, and looking back over a couple years of ownership, it's incredible to see what new and exciting things were added to the car after you bought it. In that regard, that brings the voice assistant. Today, Tesla vehicles include voice commands, but they are extremely basic and fully require a network connection to operate. You can do many things with them, but at least in my experience, they are often slow or unreliable enough that I often tend to not use them. Some feel the same with voice assistants in their phones from Apple, Google, Microsoft, Samsung, and others, but those are going to see big improvements in the coming months and years thanks to AI. Apple in particular is expected to bring out a Siri Pro feature within the next couple of months to vastly improve its functionality as a result of AI. For Tesla, a new leak has shown that they are also planning to add a voice assistant to their cars. Tesla hacker Green posted about software version 2024.14.3 and noted a few features coming, like Amazon Music support, confirmation dialog for rerouting, new track mode, restricted drivers, but most importantly, beginning of what looks like Tesla voice assistant that would be activated by a wake word, aka car always listening for it, narrated by Jenny Neutral, voiced by Microsoft. This is very interesting to see, especially since it seems to be a partnership with Microsoft. In theory, this could mean that long-term this leads to OpenAI integration into Teslas, but that seems very unlikely given Elon Musk's general sentiments towards that company. Still, this could mean a number of things. For one, Tesla may be able to eliminate the voice command button. At the core, Elon Musk feels that, quote, all user input equals error. This is why we see Tesla getting rid of buttons, getting rid of shifters and blinker stalks, and moving further and further towards self-driving. Ultimately, he believes that a device should basically either be directly controlled from your brain or be so well trained that it knows what you need at all times. A better voice assistant with a wake word means less input. Beyond that, though, this voice assistant should be able to do far more than what we see today. It could allow owners to request a number of things with their voice, and here are some features we'd love to see in that regard. First, we'd love to see this run locally, using the internal computing power in these cars. Today, Tesla voice commands must run through the cloud, and that's why they can be slow or unreliable depending on your connection. Running locally would mean that you get answers as quick as the computer in your car can give them, and it would mean that everything stays private or on device. Second, we'd love to see better natural language recognition, training, and learning. Today's voice commands require the right wording, but ultimately, an AI-driven voice assistant could not only understand language better, but be trained by individual users over time. Your internal Tesla AI voice assistant could learn what it means when you specifically say, hey Tesla, I'm overwhelmed. Hey Tesla, play 1959 Frank Sinatra, or whatever way you specifically think about things and word them. Furthermore, it could respond to more in-depth questions about range, charging, upcoming chargers, places to eat, or general education. Having this built in would be great and ultimately leads to Tesla developing AI in this area even further. Next, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Babbel. Babbel is one of the top language learning apps in the world and teaches real-world conversations with lessons that prepare you to have practical conversations about travel, business, relationships, and more. You can learn on your own time on desktop or mobile. Here's a clip of me learning to say how to do something.
Tu cours rapidement.
Tu cours rapidement. I've come a long way in the last couple months, even though you will still need to forgive my pronunciation. I chose to start learning French with Babbel because it's scientifically proven to help you start speaking a new language in just 3 weeks, and the lessons are designed by actual language teachers. On top of that, your subscription comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee and access to 2 free live classes. They also offer a few different subscriptions to choose from, including one that gives you lifetime access. If you're planning a trip this summer, it's not too late to start learning the native language. With just 10 minutes a day, Babbel can help you get a lot more out of your travels. When I went on tour in Europe last year, I really wished I spoke at least some French so I could interact more with the locals. What language do you want to learn this year? Leave a comment below. To start learning today, click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on screen to get 60% off your subscription. Those are fairly straightforward voice commands, just being understood better, but we'd also love to, once FSD is truly here, be able to give driver feedback. Hey Tesla, drive slower. Hey Tesla, don't get into the carpool lane today. Hey Tesla, lots of traffic ahead, change lanes ahead of my exit. Furthermore, multimodal AI can engage a conversation with replies and follow-ups. Instead of one complete question at a time, you could say, hey Tesla, I want to take surface streets. Then it replies, this will take 5 minutes longer. That's fine, on Fridays after work I always prefer surface streets. Right there, it converses and can learn from that behavior so that next Friday, it doesn't just turn off freeways, it recognizes specifically when you are leaving work on a Friday and takes surface streets then. That's an example of where we could train it to learn about us individually and how we communicate. After all, it's an assistant to me, so it should learn how I communicate. I shouldn't have to learn how to communicate with it. That's the idea, at least. Now, it's no secret that Elon Musk is working on AI and many other things outside of Tesla. X is the project that makes the most news, and soon a dedicated app for that platform is expected to arrive in Tesla vehicles. TikTok is already available in vehicles, so this isn't much of a surprise, but with that could come AI features from xAI. Grok is xAI's assistant and competitor to the likes of ChatGPT and Google Gemini. Their website, as of April 12th, says, connecting the digital and physical worlds with our first multimodal model. Along with an X integration could very much come the integration of XAI. Whether this simply integrates through an app like this or a partnership with Tesla remains to be seen. But the huge advantage Tesla has, whether they partner or make their own assistant, is devices. A few months ago, Tesla produced their 6 millionth vehicle. And for the most part, this means that whatever AI features Tesla brings can come to 6 million cars overnight. This is an immediately huge testing base and data collection base for users opting in. AI is also going to be huge for Tesla's robotaxi network if they achieve that. It will help all of their cars communicate, decide on optimal routes, send the right car to the right customer for pickup, and much more. But for current cars and customer-driven cars beyond voice commands, here are some other things you could do. Today, if your digital calendar is synced to your car and your events there include addresses, your Tesla will automatically route you to your next destination when needed. At the same time, it will automatically route you home or to work when you swipe down on the navigation bar, depending on the time of day. That's a cool feature, but again, requires criteria and isn't actually thinking for you. It's likely just set to choose work when not at home and home when not at work. A future smart AI version of this would actually learn and figure out where you need to go. It could see that you are at home, but add in calendar events, past driving behaviors, past destinations or pit stops, time of day, how many passengers are in the car, and more to accurately predict this every time. Essentially, thinking one step ahead of you always, so that you never again need to type in a destination. Then again, if it misses it, you can navigate specifically to that Chipotle near the CVS, and it actually understands what that means. The possibilities here are really endless, so it's really exciting to see. We'll likely see these features come to smartphones in the next couple years, but Tesla could be following suit very soon here. On the more practical, immediate side of things, we are seeing Tesla institute AI and algorithms across many technologies you wouldn't expect. The first of these is auto wipers. Auto wipers have been criticized for a long time in Tesla vehicles, and it's because instead of a rain sensor, Tesla uses the cameras to determine when windshield wiping is necessary. Ultimately, they created a, quote, deep rain neural network that has to learn over time, and Elon Musk said it is actually called deep rain as sort of a joke at Tesla. It takes a surprising amount of deep learning to know when and how fast to move the wipers. This is one of those neural networks that many wish Tesla didn't introduce, at least until it was reliable enough to replace an auto wiper sensor, but that's not quite how they roll. It has improved recently, and hopefully this is one of those things where not only will it be on par with other systems in time, but far better in the future. In fact, it could even factor in far more than how much water is on the windshield, and actually know what road visibility is, when to time wipes for ideal attention, and much more. In any case, we're seeing similar right now with the Cybertruck's front trunk. The Cybertruck had an issue with its front trunk pinching, and they recently improved this a lot via software. Tesla's lead Cybertruck engineer detailed this further, saying, quote, "Frunk pinch detection is a learning algorithm which will increase the closing force each time it's cycled back to back without successfully latching. Imagine there is a big bag inside the frunk, it might also trigger the pinch detection. Then you might try closing it again and again, exactly as you were doing in this video. The algorithm assumes that if you are repeatedly trying to close the frunk, it's because you, as the human in loop, know better and believe it should close." It's again one of those things where it seems like Tesla is making it more complex than it needs to be, but long term, this could create a much smarter system that truly knows what your needs are, instead of simply being a failsafe. Tesla vehicles are full of things like this that improve in time, and while sometimes frustrating, long-term they should lead to better features. It just takes time and training, as all AI does. The cool thing about Tesla's vehicles is that they, for years now, have had all the necessary equipment to run a lot of different AI features. It has built-in microphones, a built-in infotainment computer, built-in FSD computer, and cameras. In particular, there's a camera inside the vehicle facing the driver. Today, Tesla uses this camera to judge whether or not the driver is attentive while utilizing their FSD system. This is crucial when these systems are still in beta, and it has been a regulatory requirement. On top of this, though, they have introduced a driver drowsiness warning in some markets. The European user manual says driver drowsiness warning is designed to notify drivers who appear to be drowsy. Driver drowsiness warning monitors driver attentiveness, as well as driving behavior to determine patterns indicative of drowsiness. When driver drowsiness is detected, an alert is displayed on the touchscreen in the cards area and an alert is sounded. Features like this are a pretty big deal when it comes to safety, especially long term. Of course, this is just in the early stages, but especially if we see AI features processed in vehicle, we could see them take this feature, which does not perform facial recognition, and include some of that. There is a ton that an AI could understand from a driver by utilizing facial recognition. For one, features like this could become more robust, learning about you over time to truly recognize when something is out of the ordinary for you. It could likely even detect when a driver is more likely to engage in road rage. But of course, many of these features toe the line where customers wouldn't want to be spied on in their own vehicles. On top of that, the hardware is already there, but more advanced processing may become necessary, leading to more advanced AI chips in future Tesla vehicles. FSD is one thing, but to enable the multitude of features we are talking about here, and be able to run them in the car without reliance on the cloud, that may be something that makes a future Tesla upgrade worthwhile. The other thing to keep in mind with AI is that AI achievements equal more AI available to you as the customer, especially in a car. We talked earlier about Tesla's main AI focus, full self-driving. Many are rightfully hesitant to think this is coming on a level where you don't need to pay attention to the road. But if it does come, that's where the Tesla App Store takes a whole different turn. There have been leaks, rumors, and renders of what a Tesla App Store could look like, but ultimately the real time a Tesla App Store takes off is when you're in a Tesla and have nothing to do during a drive. Then you'll be able to engage with your phone, laptop, or your Tesla's computer. With full ability to use the Tesla display while driving, and Tesla achieving real-world AI in this scenario, we could see a vast expansion of a Tesla App Store and Tesla's own AI features. You get in your car and just talk with your Tesla voice assistant as if it's a human. It navigates and drives you to work, helps you plan your day, and much more. On the way to work, your car could be assisting you with many different things, and then syncing those to other devices like your phone, an Optimus robot, or probably in Elon's mind, a Neuralink. That's thinking very far into the future that many would be excited about and many terrified of. But for the meantime, AI is surely going to deliver a lot to Tesla vehicles. A lot of features that we currently get a small taste of in Tesla vehicles will be able to become no-brainers to utilize thanks to AI advancements. Don't like the voice commands today? Soon they could be the fastest way to control anything in your car. Don't like smart but somewhat dumb auto navigation? Soon it could know where you want to go before you tell it anything. What future features do you want to see come to Tesla vehicles, though, in this regard? Leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. In the meantime, if you want to see the latest Tesla news, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.